Listening Fanfiction presents Like Perfection by Saito, based on the anime series Yuri on Ice, and part of the real-life cinnamon roll collection by this author. Narrated for you by Sierra. Peace. Yuri Plisetsky looked like perfection, and it wasn't fair. Jun-Ho threw another look at his classmates. The semester had started off with a bang when on the first day of class, the door slammed open and in strolled Yuri Plisetsky like he owned the class. Despite his small stature, he gave off the vibe that he was not one to cross, and everyone got the message. Slender limbs, features sharp like glass, and smooth skin all hid the downright fiery personality in the small package that was Yuri. Not counting the girls, Yuri was just about the shortest male in the class, and yet his presence made him loom larger than the rest of them. In his sleep-deprived state, Jun-Ho would make the analogy of a small angry kitten hissing at dogs twice its size and cowing them into submission. He would never tell Yuri this. Yuri never failed to answer the professor's question, despite looking like he was asleep half the time, or playing on his phone the other half. Not to mention, he always looked like he had walked off the covers of Fashion magazine. Who still wore tiger print in this day and age, and why did it look so good on him? Yuri Plisetsky looks like perfection, and it just wasn't fair. One day, Yuri walked in with braids in his hair, and there was something glittering beneath his leopard-printed black jacket. The girls chitter-chatter, cooing and spooning his over-pretty blonde hair. He wasn't even trying! "You're a fag!" a guy shouted, upset that Yuri was gathering all the attention. Jun-Ho drew in a sharp breath, already cursing the idiot in his head. He stood ready to throw the idiot out of the room, because those idiots could fight him. Before Yuri intervened. With some impressive flexibility, Yuri slammed his foot on the guy's desk, growling. He grabbed the idiot by the collar, pulling him close. "There is nothing," Yuri's voice ice cold, "wrong with being gay." His light accent made the words sound even darker, as if he was some Russian mobster ready to cap the idiot in the head. Jun-Ho merely stared at him in breathless wonder. Holy crap, that was hot, he thought before mentally groaning. Ah, crap, of course I would get a crush on Yuri. Yuri then hauled the idiot out of his seat and threw him out of the classroom, passing their confused professor in the process. He glowered at the professor, daring the man to challenge him. Wisely, the professor meekly backed down. Yuri's glare swept the rest of the class, and everyone ducked their heads. The idiot never came back. There were rumors that he was expelled or just too ashamed to come back. Or one aggressive rumor on that Yuri had arranged for him to be killed. Either way, Yuri Plisetsky was terrifying. "It's not fair," Jun-Ho wailed on his friend Chi's shoulder. "He's this tiny ball of anger that looks hot but could probably kill me in my sleep." She patted his shoulder. There, she said. "An angry kitten, Chi," Jun-Ho wailed. His high school friend didn't have any sympathy for his plight at all. He could see it in her brown eyes, the subtle laughter, because Chi was too nice to actually laugh at him. "He's an angry kitten who has the entire class completely cowed in terror, and he's so cute, and I just can't." Chi smiled, clearly amused. "I'm sure your angry kitten crush isn't that scary. You didn't react this way when you had a crush on Rachel." Jun-Ho sniffed. "You're so mean. No sympathy from you. This is why I can't ever date you." "All the better," Chi said plainly, "since I'm not a big fan of poly relationships." Had Jun-Ho mentioned that she was the worst wingwoman ever. "Besides, I'm the one who has to listen to your mother worry about your relationship status and tell her you're happily seeing an imaginary fake boyfriend." Jun-Ho took everything bad he said about Chi back. Chi was a godsend. No matter how supportive his mother was, all the guys and girls she tried to set him up with were bastards. Then came the absolute mockery of fate, the perfect romantic cliche, the tease! Group projects. Jun-Ho stared at Yuri with wide eyes as the smaller Russian slid into the seat next to him. "So, do you have a partner?" "No," Jun-Ho shot out. "Good. I don't either, and everyone is trembling when I look at them. Yuri said. This wasn't fair. This wasn't fair at all. How was Jun-Ho's heart supposed to take it? Good. We just need to pick an Asian country and give a short presentation about it. We have to cover at least 5 of the 10 possible topics. Yuri said, dully reading off the paper. I can't meet Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the mornings or the weekends. I have training. Jun-Ho blinked at the schedule. That was a pretty busy schedule. What was Yuri doing? He frowned, though. Those were all the times he was free. Unbidden, the mental image of Yuri in workout clothes and stretching rose in his mind. Holy crap. He did not need that mental image right now. That's fine. Jun-Ho managed to get out. We can work through email and stuff. Thanks, Yuri said with a small smile. Holy crap. Jun-Ho was so screwed. He needed to get over this crush, and now. It's not fair. Jun-Ho wailed into Ji's pillow. He willed the couch to swallow him whole so that he wouldn't have to deal with this any longer. If you drew all over my pillow, I'm expecting you to wash it, Ji shouted from her kitchen. Where's my sympathy? Jun-Ho bemoaned. Ji was such a horrible friend. Where was the support? I lost it after the 10th time you moaned over your angry kitten crush. He's not my angry kitten crush. I can't believe my life has turned into a real-life Disney movie, Ji said. Japanese class is bad enough. It ought to be illegal to be that much in love. I don't want to hear about your cute Japanese teacher, Jun-Ho cried. Life isn't fair. It never is. We need to meet, Jun-Ho said after class one day. Okay, so it wasn't a romantic cliche. They literally did all their work together through email. The paper was done, the PowerPoint slides were complete, but they still needed to practice their parts together. Maybe Jun-Ho was just a little bit bitter that he didn't get to spend any time with Yuri. Not to mention, Yuri was smart and quickly produced all his work in a neat and timely manner that made Jun-Ho work 10 times harder just so he could keep up with Yuri. I can't this week, Yuri said, typing away at his phone. Jun-Ho frowned. We're running out of time. The presentation was in little over a week. I'll be in Japan this weekend, Yuri said, not looking up from his phone. It's Ketsudan's sister's birthday. What did that mean? Of course, it would be too good to be true. The following Monday, he saw Yuri as he was leaving another class, spotting his classmate from the distance. But before Jun-Ho could call out to him, this Japanese woman with bleached brown hair, held back by a purple headband, came out of nowhere and pulled Yuri into a tight hug. And Yuri let her. Yuri, who hissed at others, glared, huffed, and puffed, let this woman hug him and link her arm through his with nothing more than an exasperated but clearly fond expression. She had to be somewhat special. Jun-Ho bit his lip and drew back, pretending as if his heart hadn't been shattered into a billion pieces. It wasn't like he had ever told Yuri that he had a crush on him. Now he never would. Jun-Ho groaned as Chi dragged him to their favorite coffee shop on campus. He didn't want sweet, blessed caffeine. He wanted to eat his weight in ice cream, moan about his broken heart, drown a couple bottles of alcohol before sobering up, meet up with Yuri, ace their presentation, and move on. Chi meant well, but he really wished she would just let him wallow in misery. Look, we're going to go get coffee, and then I'm going to introduce you to John and Mariana, Chi said as the quaint hole-in-the-wall coffee shop that kept the entire campus caffeinated came into view. Please don't tell me you set me up with a rebound date already, Jun-Ho said. He did not need a rebound date. She snorted. No, Mariana doesn't do romance and John is recovering from his own unrequited crush. You two can wallow in pity together and Mariana can help me snap the two of you out of it. They walked into the coffee shop and lo and behold, there was Yuri. Someone up there was messing with him. To make matters worse, that same woman was present along with 2 other gorgeous hot guys. Someone up there was seriously messing with him. Jun-Ho, Yuri waved at him from the table he was sitting at. Hey, do you have time after this to do the driver on our presentation? These 2 idiots are getting sappy and I wouldn't mind the excuse to get away. So mean, the silver-haired man said. Ah, hello, the black-haired, glasses-wearing man said. It's nice to meet one of Yuri's friends. Katsuki-sensei, Chi yelped. Victor-san, Yuri-san. Hello, Chi-san, the 2 other men chorused together. Jun-Ho looked at Chi, downright confused. Wait, you know them? How do you know Yuri? She punched him in the arm and ow! Did she not know how strong her punches are getting? If you listened to me, I told you that Katsuki-sensei, she pointed to the black-haired man, is my Japanese teacher. That's his husband, Victor, who was coaching Yuri. Coaching? Jun-Ho asked. Wait. He had heard this story from Chi. She wouldn't shut up about it. Something about her Japanese teacher and his husband being awesome figure skaters. Wait. That meant... His jaw dropped as he turned to look at Yuri. You're a figure skater? Yuri threw his hands out in the air. What is with this country? What did you think I was doing when I said I was training? Doing something sinfully amazing with those legs? Which was true because all that leg power in figure skating. Jun-Ho wisely didn't say that though. Chi, on the other hand, had come to a different conclusion. Wait, that means you're angry kitten. Hello. Jun-Ho cut her off. I'm Jun-Ho. Nice to meet you. At last, the woman at the table laughs. Oh, this is a racket. I can't wait to tell Minako about all of this. This is the best birthday present ever. I married Katsuki, Yuri's sister. I came all the way to America to see my favorite trio of boys. And to watch Yuri's next competition. Yuri added, with front row seats. Victor finished. Of course. I'm a proud Yuri Angel member. Mari said. Oh, what? Jun-Ho asked, stunned. He couldn't help but feel like he had walked into the Twilight Zone. It was like nothing made sense anymore. Yuri's fan club, Victor said, beaming. We're all members. Yuri buried his head in his hands. I hate you all. You're so lucky, she told Mari. Out of nowhere, Mari pulled out a fan with Yuri's face on it and grinned. Yuri and Victor both mimicked the action. There's merchandise, Jun-Ho blurted out. He needed to get some of that, like now. Right now. Mari stood, swung her arms around Jun-Ho and Chi's shoulders and grinning. We're going to be great friends. Let me tell you all about it. Don't break him. Our presentation is tomorrow. Chi slid a stack of CDs across the table to him. You can thank me later, she said smugly. What is this? Jun-Ho asked, staring wearily at the stack as if it was going to bite him. He didn't think she would go as far as to give him porn. But, well, she got creative sometimes with her revenge. At least she wasn't judging him for the sudden increase of Yuri merchandise around his place. All the videos we could find of Yuri skating, including the time where he broke Victor's short program world record. Holy crap, he was never going to complain about anything she did for the rest of his life. Jun-Ho looked at her in wonder. You're amazing. How did you find them all so fast? John's been collecting videos for a while, Chi said with a shrug. I could kiss John, Jun-Ho said. Chi looked at him amused. He probably would let you. What? You really should meet John. How was this now is life? End of Like Perfection by Saito, part of the real-life cinnamon roll universe. If you enjoyed this recording or the content, feel free to leave a comment below or a review at the original story from the link in the descriptions. Thank you for listening.